Hi, very good morning to all. My name is Bhavana and our subject is Business Organizational Management. This is for BCom first years, first semester, both general and computer students. In the previous, we discussed what is the meaning, definition, introduction of the company. Today we are discussing what are the characteristics or features of the company. Let's see here. Characteristics or features are same. Characteristics are features of a company. What are the characteristics or features of the company? First, it is an incorporated association. Why you can say it is an incorporated association? A company is formed and registered by complying with the prescribed formalities prescribed under the Act. Company is formed and registered under the Companies Act 2013. In this 2013, there are some formalities, prescriptions, rules and regulations in this are required in this Companies Act. For formation of the company, there are some rules and regulations must be followed. So we can say it is an incorporated association. A company is formed and registered by complying with the prescribed formalities, by following the prescribed formalities prescribed under the Act. The registration is compulsory in Companies Act. According to the Companies Act, the registration is compulsory. You can say it is an incorporated association. Next, artificial person. Why you can say it is an artificial person? A joint stock company is recognized as an artificial person in the eyes of law. It should be recognized as an artificial person. According to the joint stock company, according to the Companies Act, joint stock company is recognized as an artificial person in the eyes of law. It does not exist physically, but it exists legally. It does not have any physical format, but it exists illegally. Legally, it can proceed what he can. A joint stock company is recognized as an artificial person. According to the Companies Act 2013, joint stock company is recognized as an artificial person in the eyes of law. According to the law, it is an artificial person. It has an every right for what rights of humans. And it does not exist physically, but it does not have any physical format, but it does exist legally. A company may enter into a contract to the agency of a natural person. He can enter into a contract with a natural person. He can do transactions. He can do business with a natural person. And it can also be fined for violation of provisions prevailing of Companies Act. If the person has do any mistakes or any frauds, the company has a right to take action against this person. So we can say it is an artificial person. Why you can say a company have entered into a contract with a natural person? If there is any violation of the rules done by this particular person, the company has the right to take legal action. So we can say it is an artificial person. A joint stock company is recognized as an artificial person in the eyes of law. It does not exist physically. It does not have any physical format, but it exists legally. It have an legal format. A company may enter into a contract through the agency of natural person. A company have a right to enter a contract with a natural person or any business organization, and it can also be fined for violation of provisions. Violation means do not follow the rules and regulations. They violate the rules and regulations prevailing of the Companies Act. Prevailing means those are in Companies Act. So for that, in this case, the company has a right to sue against this natural person or any business organization in legally. So you can say it is an artificial person. Next, separate legal entity. Why you can say there is a separate legal entity? A company is a legal person in the eyes of law. Already we discussed, according to the Companies Act, a company is a legal person in the eyes of law, distant from its members. Company is distant from its members. We are all know that there is a separate legal entity concept in accounting. So for this, what the concept says, the person and the business are separate. As in the same case, a company is a legal person in the eyes of law, distant from its members. A company is a separate person having its own rights and obligations. A company has its own rights and obligations for entering into a contract to any person. So it is completely separate from its members. His capital also separate from his members, and his company assets is separate from its members. We can say his company has a separate entity. Next, what is an perpetual succession? Perpetual succession means as long as possible. Death, insolvency, insanity, etc. of any member does not affect the continue of a company. If any person become death, if any person become insolvency means the person is unable to pay his debts. So we can say the person is insolvent. Insanity means the person is mentally of unsound mind. So if any case of members, the company does not affect the continuity of company. If there is any person died, the company does not come into dissolvence of the firm. Thus, life of company does not depend upon the life of its members. The life of the company does not depend upon the life of its members. So we can say there is a perpetual succession. In case of the sole proprietor, if the person death, the sole proprietor comes into dissolved. In case of partnership form also, if the person become insolvent or death, the partnership can be dissolved. But in case of a company, the company life does not depend upon its members. In case of any death, insolvency or insanity of any members, the company does not depend upon life of its members. It is generally said that members may come and go, but the company on forever, thus company never dies. It's generally what we can say, the members, how many members come and go, but the company goes on forever. The company never dies. Only the company can be dissolved according to the law only. Formed according to the law, dies according to the law. We can say there is a perpetual succession. Death, insolvency, insanity, etc. of any member does not affect continuity of the company. Thus, life of company does not depend upon life of its members. It is generally said that members may come and go. And the company goes forever. Thus, the company never dies. We can say there is a perpetual succession. Next, common seal. Why we can say there is a common seal? A company is not a natural person. Therefore, it cannot sign the document. So, company means it isn't like building. It cannot able to sign in the documents in the manner as a natural person as compared to us. We can sign, but the company cannot be signed. What to do? So what we can do in order the company to sign its document? It is provided a legally called common seal. There is a stamp and signature according to the company. So we can say there is a common seal. So company unable to sign as compared to our human beings. So it has some common seal. Common seal means signature and stamp. A company is not a natural person. It is not a natural person. Therefore, it cannot sign the documents, unable to sign in the manner as a natural person. Whereas natural person, what to do in order the company to sign its documents? It is provided. So, it provided a legally called common seal. They provided a common seal means signature and stamp. For this signature and stamp in this document, we can say the company can sign the documents. So it has a common seal. Common seal is the official signature of the company. It is an official signature of the company. Common seal is affixed on all documents by a person authorized to do so, who in turn puts his signature on behalf of the company. There is one of the person, he can do according to the company, he can sign all the documents according to the company. Common seal is affixed of all documents. It is fixed on all documents by a person authorized to do so. One of the person for sign according in the name of company, they stamp and signature according in behalf of the company. So in the turn puts his signature form on behalf of the company. As in the place of company, there is one authorized person. He know all the rules and regulations in the company side. According to the company, the person do sign and signature of the company. Any document on which a common seal is affixed is doomed to be signed by company. If the person signed in particular document, it is deemed to be means it is signed. We can estimate it is signed by company only. Any document on which common seal is affixed is deemed to be signed by company. What is a common seal? The company is not like common like human being, so he is unable to sign. For that there is an authorized person according in place of company. He can sign and stamp stamp according to the company. You can say it is deemed to be a company. It is signed deemed to be a company. So we can say it is a company has a common seal, means he has a separate signature. Next, transferability of shares. Shares are movable property. We can move our shares from one place to another. Shares are transferable in the manner provided in the articles. In upcoming classes, we discuss what are the articles of association, what are the memorandum of association. Shares are transferable in the manner provided in the articles. Articles of association means it is the rules and regulations followed by a company for the smooth running of the business. In these articles only we have to take decisions. So for the transfer of shares, we have some restrictions are mentioned in the articles. According to these restrictions only we can transfer our shares. In case of private company, the right to transfer the shares is restricted. In case of the private company, the right to transfer the shares, transfer of shares is restricted in case of private company. Means there are some rules and regulations followed for the transfer of shares. In case of public company, shares are freely transferred. While in case of public company, you can freely transfer our shares. Shares are movable property. Shares are transferable in the manner in articles. What the manner are provided in these articles only you can transfer our shares. In case of a private company, the right of transfer the share is restricted. Private company there is a restrictions, but in case of public company, shares are we can freely transferable. Limited liability. Why we can say the company has a limited liability? Nature of company. Based on our nature of company and to the liability of members. Company limited by shares. Up to the share value. Where company limited by shares. Where the company limited by shares up to his share value only the liability. Company limited by guarantee. Any amount guarantee by every member. In Companies Act, the liability of members is limited according to the rules. Company limited by shares. Up to his share value only the person is liable. Company limited by guarantee. Guarantee. Any person has give some guarantee. I am guarantee for this particular amount. For the particular amount he is liable. So I hope you understand. Limited liability in partnership form. The members of liability is unlimited. In sole proprietorship also the liability is unlimited. But in case of a Companies Act, the liability is limited up to his share value and guaranteed amount. If there is articles they mentioned the share value is limited up to his share value. So up to the share value the liability is limited. Or in case of any guarantees provided by a company, the liability is limited up to his guarantee only. Next, separation of ownership from management. Why we can say there is a ownership and management is both are separate? The management of company lies in the hands of elective representatives of members, commonly called as board of directors or simply the board. The management of the company lies in the hands of elective representatives. They are elected by the members. Who are elected? Those who have shares in the company, they have a right to vote for the election. They selected some of the members. They are called board of directors. The management of company lies in the hands of elective representatives. Management are completely lies in the hands of elective representatives of members, commonly called as you can call as they are board of directors or simply the board. They have the rules and regulations, they have the rights to take decisions in the business, but they have to concern all the members of those who have the shares. They have to concern all the members for taking any decision. The directors are appointed as well as removed by members. The directors are appointed by members as well as there is any fault, any fraud the board of directors are doing, the members have a right to remove the members. Thus, the act has ensured the ultimate control of members over the company. Here, the ultimate control are not in the hands of board of directors. The ultimate control are in the hands of members of the company. The members have to right to appoint the directors and they have right to remove the directors. The role and powers of board and members are clearly specified in Companies Act. What are the roles and powers of board of directors? They have some powers. Definitely they have some specific powers of board of directors. They are clearly mentioned in the Companies Act 2013. The powers are always subject to restrictions, but the powers are always there are some restrictions according to each and every power. The powers are always subject to restrictions. The roles and powers of board of directors are mentioned in the Companies Act. For these powers also they have some restrictions. Next, separate property. Company has separate property. A company has separate property. A company can own and enjoy property in its own name. Why you can say there is separate property? According to the business entity concept, the business and owners are separate. The company has its own property and they have enjoys its own property. For this property, there is no any relation to its members. The members has no right to sell the property without consent of all the members. They have no right to sell property or to put any property in a mortgage or from any other, like they give loans based on our property. This is not the correct, because the property is completely related to the company. Company has separate property and it is completely different from its owners. So we can say a company has a separate property, can its own and enjoy the property in its own name. The property is in the name of company only. Next, company to sue and can be sued. A company can sue others and can be sued in his own name. Company can take any legal action to the others, or company can take any legal action in this own company, because there are some frauds are doing in business, like members are doing an illegal business. The company can take action according to the same company, or company can take action to the other companies also. Company can sue others and can be sued in its own. We can say company can sue and to be sued means company can sue any other persons. They can take a legal action, and this own name also company can take legal action while they are doing any illegal business in the same company, and company can take action in their own members of board of directors. So you can say company can sue and can be sued. These are all the characteristics or features of the company. Let's see here what are the characteristics or features. It is an incorporate association. Why you can say it is an incorporated association means company is formed, registered according to the Companies Act. There are some rules and regulations. So we can say it is an incorporated association. It is an artificial person. Because why you can say it is an artificial person? Is recognized as the artificial person in the eyes of law. It does not exist because it does not have any physical form, but it has exists of legal form. If there is any mistake done by the member regarding to the company have a right to take action against the person. So we can say the company does not have any physical form, but they have a legal existence. So we can say it is an artificial person and separate legal entity. According to the concept of business entity, in this concept the business is separate from the owners. In the same case, the members are separate from its company is separate, and the members or board of directors are separate. So we can say there is a separate legal entity. The company has its own rights and obligations. And perpetual succession. In case of any death, insolvency, the company not comes into end. The company has its own laws and regulations. The members go and come. The company cannot dissolve. Company can be dissolved only in accordance with the law. Can be formed according to the law. Can be dissolved according to the law. So we can say there is a perpetual succession. And it means as long as possible the company can run their business without effect with the death or any insolvency of the member. The company does not comes to an end. So we can say there is a perpetual succession. And common seal. The company has a separate common seal with the common seal means the company has a separate signature, stamp, and for the stamp and signature are signed by authorized person on behalf of the company. So you can say the company has a common seal for taking any, for example, the company want to enter into a new business, so company want to sign for some of the documents. For the sign of the documents, the company has separate common seal signature done by some authorized person on behalf of the company. So we can say the company has a common seal. And transferability of shares. Shares are freely movable from one place to another, but they have some restrictions in the articles of association. In case of private company, the shares are not transferable freely. They have some restrictions prescribed in Companies Act. But in case of public company, in case of private company there are some restrictions, but in case of public company the shares are freely transferable. And limited liability, we are all know that the liability of members is limited by shares. We can say up to the shares value. If there is any guarantee given by the member, so his liability is limited up to his company limited by guarantee, up to his guarantee given by the particular person. And separation of ownership from management, the owner is separate from its business. The directors, in this case the directors are appointed or removed by members only. If the members have a right to appoint the directors, if there is any fraud done by the directors, the members have a right to remove. Here the complete control are under the hands of members, not upon the directors, but the directors have some powers. For these powers also they have some specified restrictions in the Companies Act. So we can say there is a separation of ownership from management. Ownership is separate from management because the board of directors have powers, but the powers also some restrictions. The management and control is all in the hands of members only. And separate property, a company has a separate property. A company can own and enjoy the property in his own name. The company has separate property, it has to enjoy its own name. So we can say the company has a separate property. And company to sue and should, company can sue its own name, means company can take legal actions its own name, and company can do legal actions to other persons. So we can say the company can be sue and can be sued. Sue means take legal action. If there is any illegality business happen, there is any fraud happening, so the company has a right to take action to other persons, and company can sue its own name. In our own company there are some legal activities are going, the company have a right to take action in our own name or some other person. So we can say the company is to be sued and should. These are all the characteristics or features of a company. I hope you understand this lecture. If you have any doubt regarding this topic, today we are covering what are the introduction of a company, meaning, definition of the company, and what are the characteristics of the company. Any doubt regarding this today's topic, let me know. I definitely clarify your doubts. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.